A former president of this country was jailed after police found that he used his Amigo bank account for personal purposes. A company in this country was found to have paid over $40 million in kickbacks to bribe officials such as Eduardo Cunha and Edison Neto. Businessman Marcelo Odebrecht and former President Lula da Silva were exposed by Operation Car Wash in this country, which led to Michael Temer assuming the presidency after the impeachment of Dilma Rousseff. For 10 points, name this home country of Petrobras, a South American country governed from Brasilia. And the answer is the Republic of Brazil. This polity underwent a short-lived resurgence under the reign of al-Nasir, when it conquered the lands of Mesopotamia and Persia. This polity earlier faced secession movements from the Tulunids, Saffarids, and Buyids. It survived in a much weakened form after the assassination of al-Mutawakkil began the anarchy at Samarra. During that period, this polity's power was no longer concentrated in Baghdad, where Greek learning had been translated by the House of Wisdom and preserved in large libraries. For 10 points, name this caliphate named after an uncle of Muhammad, which succeeded the Umayyad dynasty after Abu Muslim's revolution. And the answer is the Abbasid Caliphate. A unit named after this animal pioneered the extremely effective dive and zoom tactic and was divided into Adam and Eve divisions. The commander of that unit, Claire Chennault, served as an advisor to Chiang Kai-shek during World War II. One ruler, whose name in Persian translates to this animal, defeated Rana Sanga at the Battle of Kanwa and Ibrahim Lodi at the First Battle of Panipat. Another group named after this animal attacked the 4-4 Bravo on the Jaffna Peninsula, sparking the Black July riots and the beginning of the Sri Lankan Civil War. For 10 points, name this animal, which is preceded by flying and Tamil in the names of certain historical entities. And the answer is tiger. In one conflict, this country's namesake National Liberation Army was defeated by NRA forces led by Yoweri Museveni. That conflict, the Luwero War, saw the defeat of former President Milton Obote after a Tanzanian invasion toppled a military usurper who tried to annex the Kagera region. That leader referred to himself as the conqueror of the British Empire after the UK broke diplomatic relations with him in 1977, and he also styled himself the last king of Scotland, in addition to harboring Palestinian hijackers during Operation Entebbe. For 10 points, name this landlocked East African country led by dictator Idi Amin during the 1970s. And the answer is Uganda. During one of his conquests, this man defeated Jalal ad-Din Mingburnu at the Battle of Indus, effectively ending the Khwarezmian Empire. Shortly after his first marriage, this ruler's wife, Borte, was captured by the Merkits. This ruler created the Yasa law code and adopted Uyghur script for his empire. This man was aided in his conquest by his general Subutai and was succeeded by his third son Ogedei. A 2003 paper revealed that approximately 8% of male Asians are direct descendants of this man. For 10 points, name this first great Khan of the Mongol Empire. And the answer is Genghis Khan. The Soninke Empire's rise was directly linked with its strategic position in the trade of this commodity, while its decline began after traders began bypassing the town of Otagost. The Bambouk, Bure, and Akan territories were reputed to hold an unending supply of this commodity, which was used to make the royal stool of the Ashanti Empire. Traded along camel routes in exchange for Saharan salt throughout West Africa, Ghana was historically referred to as the coast of this commodity. For 10 points, name this precious metal often used in the production of coinage. And the answer is gold. Historian James Bellick suggested that a war involving these people be named the Potato Wars due to the potato's impact on the economy of these people. One leader of these people cut down a flagstaff that he gifted to James Busby, the first British resident of these people's country. Hone Heki was one leader of this people who fought a series of intertribal wars named for the firearms they obtained through Sydney-based merchants. James Hobson forced these participants in the Musket Wars to sign the Treaty of Waitangi on North Island. For 10 points, name these native people of New Zealand. And the answer is Maori. This country's government refused its citizens medicine for malaria to sustain its policy of self-sufficiency. French missionary Francois Panchard documented guerrilla fighters' burning of homes in this country. A high school in this country was converted into the torture center S21 after the institution of puppet leader Norodom Sihanouk. A leader of this country carried out mass executions at Chong Ek and implemented the Year Zero program. People who wore glasses and spoke foreign languages were executed in the killing fields of this country. For 10 points, name this country once controlled by the Khmer Rouge under Pol Pot. And the answer is Cambodia. This polity employed the Enderun school to train soldiers for a force that wore distinguishing hats called borks. That school's administrators were one of the groups in this polity's governance to use deaf mutes. A military force employed by this polity was disbanded in the so-called Auspicious Incident. That unit fought against Louis II during the Battle of Mohawks, after which this empire partitioned Hungary with the Habsburg Empire. In 1535, this empire captured Baghdad under Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent. For 10 points, name this empire ruled by the House of Osman from Constantinople. And the answer is the Ottoman Empire. One ruler of this dynasty used a large pool full of alcohol and trees with branches made up of roasted meat skewers for his personal entertainment. That ruler was the immoral King Zhou. The Tao Chi motif was prevalent during this dynasty, which gained power after a decisive victory at the legendary Battle of Mingtiao. This dynasty was centered around its capital of Anyang, where excavations have uncovered oracle bones that were used for divination. Supplanted by the Zhou dynasty at the Battle of Muyi was, for 10 points, what first archaeologically verified dynasty of China, which came to power in the 18th century BC. And the answer is the Shang dynasty.